I'll carry you home
Jesus, the world I find you. You can go bright
All right, everybody.
and that's exactly the reason I am a broadcaster and not a freaking singer.
Welcome to the Nick and Izzy show, everybody. That's Izzy Richardson. I'm Nick Morganson.
Oh my
And this is the Nick and Izzy show 2020 year in review. This is the last Nick and Izzy for the year 2020. Thank God. We will dig out the year 2020, and we will throw it away. We'll put it in a nice bag. We'll tidy it up, and we'll throw it over our shoulders, and we will project onward to 2021.
Oh gosh, Nick, I tell you, that's exactly, I bet you, is what's on everyone's mind right now. It's 2021 is here. We're right around the corner.
Well, almost. Yeah.
You have to get out of 2020 because this year has been nothing but complete craziness, brothers and sisters. I hope you're having an amazing night, by the way, as well, too. And yes, today we're going to be talking about everything in 2020 that was pretty crazy, and at the same time, a lot of good things that we're looking forward to in 2021, though, because I always say too, fam, we always got to think super positive. I think that's one thing that if we do that every single day and we just know that good things are going to happen, I guarantee you it's going to change our mind a lot, and it's going to change our mind in ways to where, you know what, we actually got this, and change could be a good thing.
And by the way,
Yep.
I have to say, for the first time, because over the past couple shows, everybody, and I appreciate everyone who listened to the episode where I revealed I tested positive for COVID. I'm completely recovered. I've gotten over the COVID-19 symptoms. I'm feeling good. The only thing I'm kind of fighting is fatigue, but they said that's normal. But I'm feeling good. I'm in and out of the house. I'm running around and doing what I need to do. But we have a great show for you. But first, I have to. Izzy and I were talking about this right before we went on. Can you please tell the story you were telling me when I was coming home the other day? Because you were making me laugh hysterically. Izzy was kind of on the psychedelic merry-go-round. That's the best way I can say it without it sounding kind of ridiculous.
I'll tell you, brothers and sisters. So when you are, let's say, drinking, for example, you're drinking a little bit and you're starting to feel kind of good, you're feeling a little tipsy, maybe you had a little bit too much or a little bit more than what you were expecting. It's so funny because one of my neighbors one time, when I first injured my foot a couple of months ago back, and I had to get my foot surgery, he told me, he was like, yeah, dude, when you're on the never-ending psychedelic merry-go-round, please let me know because I would love to be on there with you. And what he's saying is, if you've had a little bit too much to drink and you're feeling pretty nice and you're feeling a little tipsy right now, please call me and put it on video so I can see that. And the other night, I was feeling pretty good because I, was over there and I had a couple drinks and I just didn't really realize how much I kind of had. It happens like that sometimes, especially when you're out with a lot of your favorite people and you guys might be over there looking at each other next to each other in the bar, and you might say, oh God, let me get one more shot real quick, and another one, another one. And the more you keep doing that, a lot of times what happens is it puts you on that psychedelic never-ending merry.
No, wait. I have to say one thing though. I'm coming home from the city and I'm talking to Izzy on the phone, and Izzy just is off in the middle of nowhere land. And he's just laughing hysterically, has no idea what's going on. And all of a sudden he starts telling me all this random shit that I can't understand. And then he's like, oh, look, Adam Sandler has this many followers. And
yes.
And Justin Bieber has this many followers, and Rihanna has this many. And I'm like, Izzy, what is going on over there?
This is exactly what I was doing when I was in the bed the other day. I was sitting here oh, look, Adam Sandler has 1.2 million followers on his Facebook page. Tom Daly, oh, he got 5 million. Queen Latifah, girl, let me find that real quick. You got freaking 12 million? Okay, bitch, get it. but but no, I was saying that the other night, and if you happen to have any stories, fam, please comment below and let us know, like, if you ever had a time to where, like, you may have been feeling pretty good after maybe a long day of work, or maybe you were messing around with them kids and they were driving you crazy, getting on.
By the way, put up that bar so people know where to find us. Also, Izzy, you're falling behind here. Come on.
I know, isn't that? I know.
So if you're looking for us on social media, at Nick and Izzy Show on Facebook and Twitter, and if you want to tell us your crazy stories for the end of the year, or if you have stories you want to hold over to next year, you'll see it on the scrolling bar below. Nick and Izzy Show at gmail.com if you want to reach out to us and tell us how you're feeling and how you're doing. But I'm just listening on the other side of the phone. I'm just laughing hysterically. Like, Izzy just hears me laughing, like, out of the blue. Just like, Izzy's like, I'm being a jerk right now and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just like completely off. He was completely off his rocker, just like, and I'm like, Izzy, what the heck is going on over there? And I just had to tell that story because I thought that story was great. But
all good, brother.
All right, let's move on to some current stories, and then we'll get to the year in review 2020. There's a lot of stories we'll go over. But first, Izzy probably knows this world a little better than I do. But in the world of dating apps, okay? So the story came out, woman blasts feminist dating app, Bumble, for deleting her revealing photos, saying it's just absurd to me. Now, I have an opinion on the dating apps. I'm not a huge fan of the dating apps. Izzy is, I guess, the opposite. Would you say you're...
I got to tell you, brothers and sisters, I feel like with a lot of the dating apps nowadays, it's one of those things to where you have a lot of people on there who want certain things out of them. So you have some people on there that want to just hook up with others. You have some on there that they go on there once in a while to check and maybe talk to somebody here and there. Then you also have the other people who are super serious about it, and they really do find true love off of those apps. Because I do believe that you can find love off of dating apps. It just, may take a little bit of time though, but there is a lot of folks out there that really are looking for love. And they meet up off of there. They talk and message. And then you have other ones that are a little crazy. Just got to be a little careful with.
Well,
I overall do think they're pretty good though. But you do have to be careful what you do put out there.
Yes. In the world of social media, you got to be very careful what you put out there. And Izzy, actually, do you have the story open? Because I want you to share the photo. I don't think this is as bad as Bumble is making it out to be. If the photo, and you and I, if you could share that to the screen, if you can, while you're getting that ready. I'm looking at the photo. It really doesn't. All right, so scroll down to the first photo, the Instagram photo, that one. Okay, does that look that bad to you?
You know what I think it is, brother? I actually think it's because of what she's wearing here. But I understand what you're saying, because I personally don't think that looks bad. But I also can see like somebody maybe getting a little crazy over that, just because of, I think, maybe in the way her position is, or...
Oh, but it looks like she's standing in front of a paint canvas, which is what I'm reading on the story here. And you know what? I personally... If she was my girlfriend, I would be not okay with this in any regard.
Right.
But if it's just somebody who's single, you know what I mean? Like, you do what you want to do, but I would have a problem with this in certain regards. Why are you because to me, this seems like you're trying to attract attention to your body and not to the qualities that could be positive qualities of yourself.
I got to tell you, brother, it was so interesting the other day because we were talking about different pictures, one of my friends and I, and how people on different apps sometimes actually feel that that's a place to where they can really express themselves. And they put out pictures in that manner because some people feel very insecure about themselves. I noticed, and which is, if you're somebody that's like that and you feel insecure about your body, I just want to let you know that I think you are a beautiful individual just the way you are. But I also understand too, because some people when they look at like other people that maybe their age, or maybe if you happen to are somebody that has struggled with your weight a lot of the times. A lot of people that may be a little bit more heavier might look at somebody who's a little bit more skinnier and be like,
But
like I wish I was kind of like that though. And sometimes they want to put pictures out to see what other people think because they may feel a little insecure. But I see with
you know what's interesting though, Izzy, and I'm reading what this woman is saying, that she's confused about the policy given that men post topless photos, because obviously men can get away with that, in their bathing suits. Were allowed to be on Bumble, but you kind of run into that, I don't know what you want to call it, like the line, so to speak.
Right. You know what it could be too, brother? It also could be just with guys, because you see a lot of guys, especially like on different photos and pictures that are models that they have in different stores like Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister. You see all these dudes that they have like the clothes on, but some of them, especially if you go into like a store that has to do with like outdoor surfing or whatever it is in the mall, you'll see a lot of that where they're like pretty much almost naked, but they have like just underwear or Speedo on, and then that's it though. But I see what you mean though. And I think sometimes maybe some people feel that it is okay, which I personally feel it's okay to, go out there, and if you want to put like a photo out, as long as you're not showing anything like,
right,
I guess you could say like, yeah, as long as you're not showing like, that woman wasn't really showing like her breast, or she wasn't really showing like her, her bare ass and all that. So she was, she was doing her thing. But I mean, I think Bumble, I can see how they would think of a way like that, because of the way that a lot of different websites are censoring stuff nowadays. I mean, nowadays it's like even on Facebook, I know a lot of people are moving over to like other apps because of how Facebook is censoring a lot of stuff that they want to post, which they think is okay.
Think about it.
The apps are doing that, the same thing as well too.
Think about it. You have the Twitters of the world and the Instagrams. Forget it. Instagrams, you'd see you see so many. Like I'll go on Instagram like every once in a while, and I notice like, how is this photo allowed on Instagram? How is this photo allowed on Instagram? How is this photo allowed on Instagram? And I'm like, and then I remembered, I was like, wait a minute, there's Instagram models, there's I don't know what you want to call it. You know Instagram a little bit better than I do, but
influencers, yeah.
I'm just like, wait a minute, why is this allowed on Instagram but on Facebook? And by the way, I think Facebook actually owns Instagram.
They do this.
So I was like, wait a minute. Why is it allowed on Instagram but not on Facebook? I was like, okay, whatever you want to do at this point. But we also have issues with Facebook with all the fact checking and all that BS that goes on. But I want to stay away from the whole politics. But just going through the rest of the story, apparently they reached out to a Bumble representative who said that the policy started in 2016 after data showed that, quote, shirtless bathroom mirror selfies were the kind of photos that were most swiped left on. Now, I always thought that was dumb when people on social media would post photos of them taking selfies in the bathroom mirror. I always thought that was the most shittiest thing in the entire world. I'm like, really? Like, you're that self-centered? You're taking a picture of yourself in the mirror? Like, that's weird, right?
I mean, I think what nowadays and how social media is, I mean, I personally think it's okay, because I do know a lot of people that take selfies in the mirror, and I think people sometimes just, like to show off, like maybe their nice clothes, or they like to just take a picture of themselves, especially if someone's going around and they feel kind of cute, or they feel like they look kind of nice. So, I mean, I think everybody is unique in their own way. And I think if you want to take a photo like that, I would say it's okay. It's something that, if you just feel confident about yourself, which a lot of people do like that as well, too. Because I got to tell you, too, I think also the reason that a lot of folks on these apps, they put out shirtless photos and they put out photos of girls in bikinis and things of that nature is because they are trying to attract somebody else, though, to come after them. Because a lot of people...
That's my point. Right.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they say that like looks isn't everything, which I personally do believe that and kind of in a way a little bit though. But I do think though, like especially when you're swiping on these dating apps, like the first thing you see is someone's picture. So if you think they're cute, you're gonna like swipe right, and then if you're not too interested in them, you might swipe left. And I think that's what people really try to do though.
See, what's so ridiculous about the dating apps, and I've tried them out, and right now I'm talking to someone I really like. So for me, it's focusing on one person, and that's it. And I really like this girl that I'm talking to, and we really get along, and we click, and that's what I care about. I don't care about the whole looks thing. I don't care about all this fancy schmancy bullshit. I could care less about the whole looks thing. And I want to date somebody who, like, we have a connection together with. Like, it shouldn't matter, like, what the whole looks are on social media. Like, I'm tired. Like, I see people do this on a daily basis when I'm going back and forth in the city, that people are taking pictures constantly. They're looking away. They're in front of the buildings. They're in front of the fancy statues, or they're taking pictures with a drink in their hand, which, by the way, is a big no-no in professional world. Not to take pictures while drinking, you know that. But yeah, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't do that.
I don't understand why people I think people are too obsessed with the selfie, in my opinion. And they forget about life. Just live life the way you need to live it. And you do you, but you don't have to be so self-conscious about how you look.
Yeah, brother, it's really interesting, especially with the dating apps, because I feel like with those, that's like the first thing that people look at is like what somebody looks like. But also after you see somebody that you think is really cute or you think is really hot or you really are interested in them, the next step is to see like how they are and how their character is.
Chemistry.
Their personality and, their chemistry. Because I've noticed, like, for me personally, myself, I've met a lot of great people on the dating apps before. I've met up with a couple of them. And not only, do you have Bumble and Tinder and you have OkCupid, but now you also have Facebook dating too. So a lot of these social media sites are starting to come out with the dating as well, which I actually have met a few people off of Facebook dating before. But it's
really? You have?
Yeah, a few people off that. Yeah.
I don't know. Facebook, stay out of my life. You already see enough of my info. I don't need any more information taken from me from Facebook. Like, the weirdest thing was, like, I'm looking at getting a social media marketing degree on the side to kind of build my resume. I was looking at 2 schools, and all of a sudden, those 2 schools popped up in my Facebook news feed. Like, Facebook is stalking me in so many ways.
Oh, yeah, it does that. And I'll tell you too, brother, get this. Like right now, brothers and sisters, take a look at this tonight. If you go on Google, for example, right, and you type in something like, I want to look for a remote control car. If you go on Facebook, 5 minutes after that, you're going to start seeing a lot of ads pull up on Facebook about that, because it's crazy with the internet now, like how everything is linked together. Like, and sometimes too, like I've had it on my phone before too, where I've like looked up something on like Google and I'll like type something in, like I'm looking for like paper cups or something in that.
And it shows up on Facebook.
But not only that, and sometimes like when I start typing what I want or what I'm trying to look for, it types a read for me. And then it's almost just like it read my mind, like shit, like
you're stalking me, Facebook. Don't stalk me, damn it. Like,
it was just like how did they know I was getting ready to look up paper cups? Like, it really, it's wild with that.
It's kind of creepy, actually, if you think about it, because it's almost like someone is watching you and you don't know how they found out what you were thinking, even though you didn't say it out loud. But like your head feels like it's floating in the clouds. Like it's
yeah.
And speaking of floating in the clouds, our next story before we get to our end of year stories, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, who I'm a big fan of the two of them. I think they're an awesome power couple. And they've been on The Voice as coaches, and that's how they kind of met. And it's kind of become like a really interesting story. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy for Gwen Stefani. You know, she's really pretty. I think she's so pretty, and I I love Blake Shelton. I think he looks amazing as well too. And I think it's just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love love. Like I absolutely love it. Like when
You do.
I do. Like I'm happy for you, and I love it when my friends like come up to me and they say to me like, "Izzy, oh my god, like I met this guy, I met this girl, I'm like so happy." It just because I really do believe though that everyone in life should have a companion. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of people out there as well too that do want to be single, which that's okay as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love like love stories like that. It's amazing, and it's really
Nick and Izzy fam. It's no joke. When I told Izzy that I met this girl for the first time, he literally was like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy for you."
I really am because you're a great guy, Nick, and whoever gets you is going to be super, super, super lucky. They hit the lottery, baby.
But I really love this story just because I think they're two amazing people. Blake Shelton's been on The Voice for like 16 or 17 seasons, like since season 1 of The Voice.
Yeah, he has been.
And who was he married to originally? I think it was Miranda Lambert, right?
I believe so, yes. And then something happened between those two, and now he's with Gwen.
Like they just hit it off as coaches on The Voice, and it's a really cool story. And like they've done a bunch of music together. They did some Christmas music together. I don't know. They've both had interesting relationships before they met each other, and now they're together. And I just think it's really cool that I think they were dating for 5 years. And I guess Blake finally decided to get down on a knee. That's a tall guy to get down on a knee. I'll say that for sure.
Oh my gosh. And it's so funny because Gwen Stefani, according to people.com, they're saying that she is on like cloud 9 because she's just so in shock of everything that's happened. And I got to tell you, that's a moment right there too, to where when you're in love with somebody, oh my gosh, when they proposed, that moment is like a moment that you'll like never forget. I guarantee you in your whole entire life though, because it's just one of those moments where it's like, oh my gosh, like this person loves me and I love them back. And it's like so amazing. Like everything's perfect. And then you just, you just get so happy. And I am just, oh my gosh. I got to tell you, I wonder what that wedding is really going to look like. I bet you if I can take a guess right now where they're going to have it at, it's going to be somewhere overseas, or they might have it maybe in California somewhere, but I bet it's going to be on a beautiful vineyard somewhere out there in Cali.
Well, according to the story, they were talking about early 2021. Obviously, because of the pandemic, no one's really having huge marriage ceremonies or having big weddings. So it says they decided to wait until they can have a small group of family and friends attend. Despite the setback, the singers are happy than ever and hope to say I do by summertime. So, bravo.
Yay, I'm so happy for them.
But, all right, so we'll move on from that. Now it's time to get into the year that was 2020. Now, Izzy, it's been a rough year for everybody in 2020, and it started in March.
Yeah.
And the pandemic came in. We had no idea what the pandemic was going to be like. And everything just got turned on its head.
Yes, it did, brother. And not only that, actually, because if we go prior to March,
even February, yeah.
Yes, back to February, we unfortunately lost one of who I think is the best basketball players that's ever stepped foot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bryant. Oh my God, I love him so much. And I just want to continue sending out my deepest condolences to, and I'm sure you do too, Nick, to Vanessa, Bryant, and just the kids. And, we just send.
He lost one of his kids too.
He did, yes. And I'll tell you, we just send our deepest condolences from the Nick and Izzy show here to you, Vanessa. And we love you. And we just think that you guys are so amazing. And your husband was phenomenal. And
I'll never forget. I was asleep. All of a sudden, my phone goes off. I'm getting all these alerts. And then they say Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash with his daughter. And I'm like, wait, what? What just happened? Like, It's the beginning of the year. And I remember saying to the guys that I do my other sports show with. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting beginning to 2020. No one thought 2020 was going to be like this, but let's just say it was a very interesting beginning to the year that is, and hopefully was, because it'll be gone soon, 2020. And there was a lot of interesting storylines besides Kobe Bryant passing away. Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Sentenced to 23 years in prison due to sexual harassment. Now, we saw that story come around. We were like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, he was that was really crazy what happened with that, because that's been going on for a while too. And then, you have the pandemic that happened, and unfortunately we lost our brother Chadwick Boseman. We lost our other brother Alex Trebek this year. It's just been too much craziness.
By the way, and we need to say something, Jeopardy is one of the most iconic game shows of all time. That and Wheel of Fortune.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's definitely iconic, those two. And I just wonder, like, if Merv Griffin was still alive today, like what that brother would have invented besides Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, because he was just a master, I feel like, at it. Him and Mark Goodson. Those two were just phenomenal. You also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, let's put it this way. There's too many celebrity deaths that we can't even keep up with the amount of people that have died this year, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, to see what some of today's game shows, we're never going to have a Jeopardy again, never going to have a Wheel of Fortune again, a Price is Right again. And it's been an interesting year. And just looking at some of the other stories, and thank God they put Harvey Weinstein away just to finish that story, because he was such a asshole that he obviously couldn't control himself. Now, it goes to show you that Hollywood is a cutthroat and unfortunate, disgusting business sometimes. But to move on to some of the other stories of 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped down from their royal duties. Now, this was a very bizarre story. I'm really not into the whole Duchess and royalty. Are you into that stuff?
Yeah, not too big. I've never really I've been interested in it, and I really have no clue what it's even really about, because
me neither. But I guess it was the first time in ever that someone actually didn't accept the royal seats, so to speak, and then they kind of went off and they did a Netflix series, and it's bizarre. I don't know, but we'll move on from that. And then one of the biggest stories, and I remember you and I talked about this, Izzy, Laurie Laughlin. We talked about this story, reporting to prison for the college admissions scandal with her kids. Her and her husband, and I'm going to say the name wrong, but I think it's Massimo Giannoli. They pled guilty for their role in the nationwide bribery scheme. And you know what kind of went down with that, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I think her kids, she paid $500,000 to get their two daughters illegally admitted to USC. Now, that goes to show you that famous parents obviously don't trust their kids to do certain things, and that they need help all the time. Let your kids have their own lives.
Yeah. Because, it's so interesting too, Nick, because I know a lot of people that, especially when they turn 18, they like to move out of their parents' house. And also, when you get a little bit older, a lot of people like to do that because they just want to, a lot of times, have their own thing. I mean, it's different for everybody because everyone's in a different situation. But yeah, a lot of people and a lot of young people like to do that when they turn 18. They like to move out.
Yeah, and this was a major crime.
Yeah.
And one of her daughters, what was her name? Oh, Olivia Jade, the one who's on YouTube. She never really wanted to go to college. She just wanted to get the attention. And I think she has some kind of what do they call those channels? Like beauty channels or makeup channels, which that seems to be a big thing. You showed me, what's the name of that person you told me about that's really big? Is it on Facebook or YouTube that you told me does the fragrances and the makeup? What was the name of that person you told me about?
Oh, you mean Jeffree Star?
Yes. Like that's a legitimate channel. Like this is BS. Like this is unbelievable. And you know what? She also ruined the end of Fuller House.
Yeah.
Because she had to be stupid. She had to bite off more than she could chew because celebrities think they can do whatever they want. And what happens when you bite off more than you could chew? What happens?
Yeah.
You get caught.
Yeah, you get clogged, and we don't want anyone to ever choke, but God forbid that does happen sometimes.
No, but I'm saying you get caught for cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, $500,000 just to get somebody into a college. Jeez.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I mean, oh my God, yeah, it's wild.
Some other stories that happened. Do you remember Tiger King?
Oh, yes, yeah.
That bizarre Netflix show?
Yeah.
I was not into it. Do you know anything really about that show or no?
Not really, brother. Not really.
It was kind of a weird show. It was about someone with tigers and like living in the wild and a bunch of agricultural stuff. And I thought the show was really stupid and ridiculous. Like, I guess it was a reality show because not like we have enough of those already going around.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, there's like so many of those reality shows about just people's lives, pretty much. Yeah, you're just walking around with a camera, filming like Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner and whatever those girls are doing, and then you get paid millions of dollars. I want that freaking job, man.
Well, no, the Kardashians, and this is the joke I tell Izzy all the time. Now, get ready, everybody, because Izzy knows I make this joke about the Kardashians all the time. They sit on their fat asses and they do nothing for like $40 million a year. Okay. By the way, comment down below if you want to comment. That show is finally going off the air. The Kardashians are finally going off the air. I think in 2021. I think.
Yeah, supposed to be next year. Supposed to be going off the air.
I mean, haven't we had enough of them already? Like, just we don't need to follow a family around and they get paid millions of dollars just to do stupid shit. Like, I think, what is it? Like, Kim is a lawyer now,
I think so. Yeah.
Like, first she was famous for the family's sake, then she went off and wanted to become a lawyer, and now she's bailing people out of jail, which is nice. I totally respect it, but like, I'm getting tired of just that family in general. Like, how many basketball players have dated that family also? Like,
a lot of them. I believe you had Lamar Odom. He was with, I believe it was Chloe. If I'm not.
Yeah, because they had Chloe and Lamar. That was one of the dumb spinoffs for the Kardashians, and then like I think Chloe even dated James Harden before that, and what was it? Kim dated Reggie Bush way in the beginning. Don't ask me how I see it in the news. So
he's like, don't even ask.
Don't even ask. I don't know. I'm kind of glad that show is gone. And I think Ryan Seacrest has enough projects. For most people that don't know that, Ryan Seacrest actually produced that show for the Kardashians.
He did, yes. Yeah, he does a lot of producing for different shows, Ryan Seacrest. And then, he does American Idol every year. And then he also does Live with Kelly and Ryan.
Got the radio show.
Monday through Friday. Yep, he has a radio show on air with Ryan Seacrest. And
Earth to Ryan Seacrest, you don't need the Kardashians anymore. End of story. All right, now some controversies. So, Ron Jeremy, right?
Yes.
And Ron Jeremy's kind of in what I like to call the unfortunate side of the business world. He's an adult film star. You and I know that.
Yeah.
And he was kind of known for, I don't know, what's the best way to say it, Izzy? Getting it in?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I didn't think about that hard. I was like,
And I'm like, I'm not laughing at the story. I'm just like
laughing at
the stupidity of this story. So Ron Jeremy, the former adult film star, is facing more than 250 years in prison for multiple felony sex crimes if convicted. Now, I don't understand. Like, the adult film industry is stupid, to be quite honest. Like, what are you doing? Like, how? I mean, first of all, no one should force anybody to do what they don't want to do. I'm sorry. That's number one.
That is true, though, Nick. I agree with you on that.
Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you forcing people to have sex? If they don't want to, don't force them.
Yeah, I mean, some people, unfortunately, it's like, especially if it has to do with like money, like that's something to where like a lot of people, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say actually. Let me rephrase that. Not a lot of people, but some people, they'll get you to have sex for money though, and it's almost like sometimes they force you too. It's so crazy.
It's stupid. I'm sorry. Like, if he did the crimes, he needs to go away. I mean, 250 years. Like, you'll be dead, but just go away. There's no place in this world for people like him. All right, another one. Now, you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think. The Ellen DeGeneres show being investigated for toxic workplace claims. Now, we all know Ellen has a reputation, I guess, for being the be kind motto. Now,
Right.
we kind of seen the other side of that situation, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I got to tell you what Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, I personally have never worked there before, and I don't really know exactly how it is. But it's funny because sometimes you see these people on TV and you see different things that happens with them, and then what you see on TV sometimes isn't always what you see behind the scenes, which could be a lot of controversy, especially if like your employees who are working for you happen to leak something out about you, which is what happened with Ellen, which I'm not exactly too sure what happened behind the scenes because I don't know her personally off the air like that. But I'm hoping that a positive outcome will come out of all of that, and I'm hoping that everybody will be happy eventually, and I'm hoping that things turn around in a very positive manner for Ellen, because I do know that a lot of her sponsors, not all of them, but there was some of them that stepped away from the show just because of that controversy. And
well,
something right there that you just got to be a little careful with, because that's like pretty much money going out of the door.
Well, I think they fired the executive producers and they replaced some of them, but if that's true and she's not following her be kind motto, then it's her fault. It's absolutely her fault. If she's not following her be kind motto, which is trying to help families in need and trying to dig people out of holes, which she's done over the years, she has gotten families back on their feet and shining the light on stories for
Oh my God, yes.
the best parents, the best principals of schools and education and the book clubs. And if she's not following her be kind motto, then she shouldn't be on TV anymore.
Yeah, brother, I see exactly what you're saying, because sometimes some people that are like on the camera, they may act a little different on there than they are in real life. But there is a lot of people in real life, they act the same way on camera.
Agreed.
Some people just don't do that, and we're hoping that good things with that show is really turn around though, because Ellen really is somebody who I personally love. Like, I just think that she's amazing, but also too, we also do have to remember that these people are constantly under so much pressure, especially with the press, because you have a lot of these folks out here who everywhere they go, like if they're going to Starbucks to get their daily coffee for the day, to get their day started,
They have cameras following them. Yeah.
Right, they get followed by two. So sometimes I can see if they do go a little crazy. Just because some people love that, having cameras and everybody follow them all over the place, and then other people like that, but I guess they're just so used to it, and it's one of those things to where like they just want a little peace and quiet sometimes. But I don't know, because everyone's so different with that though. I remember I met a celebrity at Wegmans. Actually, this was
Who was it?
I believe it was last year. It was one of those movie stars because I didn't actually. I met him, but I didn't really like. It didn't click in my mind. Like
You didn't know who it was?
but I didn't actually. And it was funny because I went over there and I like shook my hand because one of my other coworkers told me that was a celebrity over there, and I was just like, "Oh wait, who's that?"
Come
and
on, man.
I know I saw him in the aisle, and I was just like, "Wow, he does look familiar though." But I felt bad because I forgot his name, but I went over to help though because I would have felt so embarrassed. I would have been like, "I seen you on the show."
But come on, man. That would have been so good.
I know. Sometimes I just, especially like when I'm at the office and
Izzy, put that comment up. I know who that is.
it gets absolutely wild. Oh, Jerry, how are you, my brother? Happy New Year to you as well, too. And that's another thing is we are hoping for nothing but the best in 2021. And I gotta tell you guys, a lot of things did turn around in 2020 when we saw that viral TikTok video of our brother drinking some cranberry juice, singing Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And a lot of things did turn around after that, though, because I mean, you have Fleetwood Mac himself.
Yes.
There, and he drank the cranberry juice too, and he was out there, whatever.
By the way, unfortunately, he ended up with COVID.
He did, unfortunately, yes. Fleetwood Mac, yeah.
No. I'm talking about the guy in the viral video ended up with COVID.
Oh, brother, oh yes, he did. No, I could have sworn. No, not. I'm sorry, not Fleetwood Mac. He didn't.
No,
but
No, but the guy who did the viral video, he ended up with COVID because he was traveling back and forth to LA. So it's just this virus, man. We'll finish up and conclude our final episode here, talking a little bit about COVID. And Izzy, it's been a rough year for people with COVID. This virus has taken a lot of lives, unfortunately, like close to 400,000. And
yeah, it's such a sad situation, and all the healthcare workers this year, you guys rock.
Yes.
You guys are gonna rock it again in 2021, and a lot of us are praying right next to you and right with you that we are hoping that this is gonna burn itself out eventually. Because
by the way, we don't thank the healthcare workers enough for the shit that we've put them through this year with this virus. And you know what? The prayers go out to you because these healthcare workers are working around the clock 24/7 and they're not getting enough and they're not being thanked enough for what they've done. And we need to give them more respect, regardless of who's in the White House. I don't care. I don't give a shit at this point. We need to thank these workers, the doctors, the nurses, everybody out there who's helping everybody get healthy again. Heck, I freaking got the virus and I needed help. Okay? So we need to be respectful of all the healthcare workers and make sure that we keep them healthy.
Yes. And it's also another thing, too, to where, we just got to keep doing the best we can to kind of minimize the spread, though. And I totally understand, family, how some of us may feel out here. But I would just say, just do whatever you can to, just try to minimize it, at least for now, though. We want you to go out and still have fun. Just definitely be safe with everything. Because unfortunately, the virus is going to run its course. And also at the same time, until it burns itself out, it's going to keep doing that. But we are getting there. We are getting there, though. I promise you, there's going to be a lot of better days ahead. And right now, I know with everything going on, though, once we get to, I would say, I'm hoping March, we're going to turn the curve of this completely.
I hope so.
And I don't know exactly what's going to happen, though, but I know already. I've been noticing actually a lot of companies, especially entertainment business companies, like such as cruise ship lines like the Royal Caribbean, they've been already booking for next year. And I would say
careful. Just be careful.
Right, because half the people want to go back on the cruise. And then you also have a lot of people that said that they used to be on cruises all the time and they loved it, but now they won't go again. Well, so it's really going to be interesting to see how everything is going to turn around. We're hoping that this is going to be over in 2021. And that's one of my biggest resolutions for 2021. Yes. Pray that COVID is completely over so we can go back and we just don't have to, be as concerned, because I know this has been this has changed so many people's lifestyles and livelihoods, and we totally know that, and we're rooting for everyone just to get completely out of this, and everyone's happy and healthy, and we can just go back to concerts and all that fun stuff.
Sports, concerts, sports, entertainment. And by the way, the big thing also, small business, which is a big thing that we pray for small business to come back, because unfortunately, due to COVID and not being able to have people, especially in New York City, where they pushed it back down to what, 25%, and not even that. I think they closed indoor dining in the city. So
yeah, 25% in New Jersey, and then you have the city is completely empty.
We want to see small businesses come back in 2021. And by the way, just to help people out, any small businesses that are out there that want to come tell their stories on our show, Nick and Izzy show at gmail.com. It's scrolling across the bottom right now. We want to hear your stories about small business, and we want to promote your small business if you're struggling, and we want to help get the word out there for you. So
yes, definitely. Please send us an email, or if you want to send us a direct message right here on our Facebook page, that would be amazing. And please let us know, because we'll shout you guys out. The page is slowly growing every single day, and we're very happy. And we just thank you guys so much. And the other thing as well too is I just invite you that if you're able to, please, if you can do your best to help those people as well too. Even if you are going to order a slice of pizza, and if there's a tip jar, I would just if you're able to, though, I understand if you can't, but if you're in a position to where you can throw them like an extra $5, I think that would be so amazing, and they're gonna really appreciate that so much. And also too, now, not to get into politics. We completely away from that usually, but we do want to let you know about this though.
That's our resolution, by the way.
Yes, no more politics. But I know a lot of people have been wondering about what's happening with the stimulus checks and everything that's been going on. And I can tell you this, that the good news so far is that our president, Donald John Trump, he did sign that bill yesterday, which does include another direct round of stimulus check payments in the amount of $600. Right now it's $600, but the House earlier of Representatives in our country here, they did pass for the increase from $600 to $2,000.
Well, that bill has to go to the Senate and be approved there, but we're stepping up. We're stepping up. Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be the next. You're right, brother, and that's going to be the next step. So we're going to definitely keep you posted, brothers and sisters, because I know that's something that a lot of people have really been worried about, and because I think, and I pray to God and really hope that they could really get that going, because that $2,000 is going to pay a lot of people's mortgages and their bills, and I really think that's going to be something that's going to be good. So we got to pray and hope for the best, so that our Senate's going to be able to pass that. And then if not, we're still going to get something, but maybe not much.
Let's make it clear. Trump lately has done a lot of terrible things.
Yeah.
And if this is the one thing that he can fix, hopefully to give people money. So, and Izzy and I were talking about this before the episode, that so people can pay their bills, people can pay their rent, and people can continue to live and eat, so that we don't lose any more people, for crying out loud. It's depressing seeing that number go up. And if it means we need to give people $2,000 so that they can pay their rent and mortgage and bills, do it. Just do it.
Right. And I got to tell you too, I think the other thing that a lot of people are kind of going crazy over is the unemployment as well, because unemployment right now, and one of the reasons that he had to sign everything yesterday was because the benefits were going to expire, the extra money for the people on unemployment. So he had to do something about that. And I think with the unemployment, it's something to where I know some friends that they've been waiting for 6 and 7 months for the unemployment to come in. So we're hoping for the best with that. And, we're nothing but, nothing but, nothing but positive vibes going into 2021. Hashtag Izzy freaking loves ya.
Wait a minute. I have to point that out. Of course, there had to be one more Izzy interruption of a hiccup before the end of the year. I was going to call it. I knew it was going to happen. Izzy's just like, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. But seriously, on try to end on a positive note. This is our last show, Nick and Izzy show. Not the last show ever. Last show for the year. And when we come back after the new year, we're going to try and plan some guests. We're going to try and do a lot of fun things. We kind of got derailed on doing the whole soup kitchen idea that we had because I got COVID. But we'll get back to that stuff. We want to do some charitable stories because Izzy and I are into that stuff. We really want to shout out some charities and get some people involved. So hopefully everyone gets through the rest of the year and you have a good new year. If you're going to spend it with people, socially distance, I shall add, just be happy, be safe, and just hopefully we can get to 2021 without any more problems.
I hope so, but one problem I do have to fix is all this damn burping. But which I'm going to try to do right now. And on that note, hashtag Izzy loves you so much. And thank you for watching us all these last months and months and months of 2020.
We will see you in 2021, everybody. Have a happy new year.
Yes, we will. Keep sending out those positive vibes, baby. And just be safe on New Year's Eve, too. And if you are going to be going out and having some fun, partying and drinking, please make sure you have a designated driver or an Uber or a Lyft, because I don't want anything, God forbid, bad to happen to you, brothers and sisters. I want you to have fun, but please, 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 just get a ride.
And be safe. Socially distance. Be safe.
Yes, please, please, please. And we'll talk to you very soon.
We'll talk to you in 2021.
Almost birthed again. Damn.